Hi, I'm Jackie Van Ruler, and welcome to the very first in my series on your fabulous face. In this series, I'm going to be talking about what goes on in your body and how that shows up in your face, as well as sharing some tips and tricks using facial reflexology that you can use to alleviate the symptoms of whatever it is that's going on in your body. So did you know that whatever you have going on, whether it's a physical symptom or an emotional symptom, can show up on your face? Today we're going to talk about anxiety. And I want to talk about the ways that that can show up on your face. So what can happen is you might see like red bumps kind of in this area, or it just might be kind of like red and inflamed or dry on this area of your forehead. Your whole forehead is kind of associated with your gut-brain balance. And so when things get out of line with your brain, or if you're feeling anxious, if you're in that constant state of anxiety, that fight or flight, and you're just releasing all these stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, that'll show up on your forehead. The other place that it can show up is on the left side of your face, kind of in this area here. And this area right here is associated with the stomach. This is point 39, and then the spleen is point 37. And both of these organs are associated with the emotion of worry. Sometimes I'll see people will have a little mole on their stomach zone, or they may get redness around both sides of their nose, redness and dryness. That doesn't go away. And that's usually associated with worry and stomach issues. Or they might have some redness or dryness in this area, or it may just feel really dense when you massage it. The spleen has to do with the monkey mind, when you can't shut off your brain. And so if your brain's going constantly, it can just throw you into that state of anxiety where you feel like you can't get out of your skin, or you feel like the world is about to fall apart, or you just feel like something bad is about to happen. And so you just have this constant state of anxiety. And you can't get out of that fight or flight mode. So what happens when you're in that fight or flight mode is that you start breathing shallowly, and your gut doesn't work as well, and all of your blood goes to your large muscles of your body and your brain, because it wants you to be able to run away from an attacker or a bear or whatever it is that it thinks that you are being, that you need to fight or flee from. So what you can do for anxiety, a couple of different things. The first thing is just relax and take a couple deep breaths if that's possible. One thing you can do to really stimulate your diaphragm is stroke this part of your nose right in here. This is point 189, and it unblocks your diaphragm, so it allows you to take a deeper breath. And then you can put your attention on your dantian, or that area that's about 3 inches below your navel. Even just put your hands there, and then just try and focus your attention there. And what that does is, if you can get in this area, is it takes that attention away from your head and your head spinning and that monkey brain, and it puts it into your body. A lot of times if your head's spinning, you've got this bubble going out here and you're just thinking of these new ideas but never really acting on them. So when you get into your body or inside of that dantian space, that allows you to relax and get out of your brain, and then allow new thoughts and new ideas to come in, and allows you to get more things accomplished. The other thing you can do is you can take your fingernails and you can stroke your scalp. And this just relaxes your nervous system. You do this for about 5 minutes while you're deep breathing and while you're in that dantian space. You can also take your fingers and use friction across your forehead. Again, the forehead has to do with that gut-brain balance, and has to do with like serotonin and getting your brain working in the most efficient way. You can also take your fingers and tap your forehead. Anytime that you're starting to feel anxious, you can just kind of stop and get into your body, take some deep breaths, just tap that forehead and just know that everything's going to be okay. And just really concentrate on getting out of your headspace. The other thing you can do is come see me for treatments here in Denver, Colorado. If you're not in Denver, I do online consultations as well. Or you can set up an appointment with another facial reflexologist or somebody else who really specializes in decreasing stress and the stress response. Some of the specific points that I like to work for anxiety are point 124, which is going to be about in this area of your forehead. And you can work that with a detector or the end of a pen or whatever you have that's similar to that. And you can just go back and forth in this area and hit 124. On this side, the 124 is a deeply relaxation point, but also has to do with the gallbladder. I'm going to hit the other side, and I would do about 10 back and forth strokes each time. I'm going to speed it up just because I don't want to be on the video forever. And then you can hit 134, which I like to work by going across the brow first. And then coming into this spot, and point 34 is like right in here. And 124 and 34 work together for deep relaxation. You almost have a sedative-like effect or even a morphine-like effect on the body. Natural, of course. And then do the other side. And then do the little circles there on point 34. And if you feel a specific point that feels tender or dense, you can just hold it. So whatever feels best for you. Then you're going to come to point 26, which is right here between the brows. This point turns on the parasympathetic nervous system, or that rest and digest. So it helps to turn off the fight or flight response. And you don't want to overstimulate the spot, so I'd say maybe hang out here for about 15 seconds. And then the last spot that I like to hit is point 37, which is kind of in the middle of this nostril area and then directly underneath the eye on the left side. And if you're feeling anxious, this spot here will probably feel very dense. You can just do some nice circles in this area and that'll probably feel really relaxing. And then as always, when you're doing facial reflexology, you want to end with point 0. And that's that point that if you put your fingers in your ear, where you come out on the side of your face, is point 0. And this retains all the points that you've just done. And it also helps to bring your body back into regulation. So say that you've overstimulated a point and you feel a little lightheaded or you have a little bit of a headache. This will help to bring your body back to normal. And you can stimulate that point by doing little circles in the area, or you can just go up and down the side of the ear. The other way you can stimulate that point, and what I really love to do, is to take 2 fingers, I like to take my middle 2 fingers, and just stroke downwards from the top of the ear to the bottom. And then do a little pull on the ears. And the ears are shaped like your kidneys, so just doing this little pull here gives you like a little burst of energy, because your kidneys have to do with your life force energy. So anyway, I hope that those tips have helped. If you're here in Denver and you're experiencing anxiety, I would love to help you out with it. Let me tell you a little story about a client that I worked with recently. This is a client who I met at one of my son's swim meets. I actually knew her, but she was telling me about some health issues she was going through. And she was having these respiratory attacks where she couldn't breathe and she'd go to the hospital and they couldn't really figure out what was going on with her. And through the course of working with her, she told me that she was feeling really anxious. And because she wasn't sure, am I even going to live? Am I going to die? Am I just going to stop breathing? Because the doctors didn't really know what was going on with her or what to do. And so we started working together and I was like, well, let me just try this thing that I do. I don't know if it'll help. But it ended up really helping with her lungs. And then I asked her one day, I'm like, so how's your anxiety doing? Does it seeming to help with that at all? She's like, well, yeah, I think it's better. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, how often are you having anxiety? What's going on? She's like, oh yeah, I haven't really had it at all since we started working together. I was like, well, that's not a little bit better. That's a lot better. So facial reflexology really does work to help get you into that get you out of that fight or flight and into that parasympathetic nervous system where your body can heal, it can rest, it can digest, and do all the things that it does best. So I would love to see you, if you're experiencing these symptoms, help you to find some relief. And if you're not here in Denver, we can do an online consultation, or please find somebody that can help you with these symptoms as well, because this is something you don't want to live with. Somebody who does something like tapping or something else like, other facial reflexology techniques, or anything that's just going to be super, super relaxing and just help you to get out of that constant state of stress. Anyway, thank you for watching my first video on your fabulous face. And stay tuned. I'm planning to do about 2 to 3 a week on different things that might be going on in your body that will show up on your face. And if you have requests for anything that you have going on, please let me know. I would love to make a video specifically for you. Thanks for watching.